Shalom. Welcome to another episode of Daily Tonic in the World right here on GC Create TV. And I remain your humble host and your brother, Daniel Lion Yashurala. And today we are continuing from where we stopped. Yesterday is actually the book of Shemoth, chapter 26, going straight down to chapter 30. And it says, Moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twinned like linen, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, with cherubim of a cunning work shall you make them. The length of one curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits, the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits, and every of the curtains shall have one measure. That's all the curtains will be of the same measurement. The 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another, and other 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. And you shall make loops of blue upon the edge of the one curtain, all from the sleeve edge, from the selvage in the coupling, and likewise shall you make in the utmost edge of another curtain in the coupling of the second. 50 loops shall you make in the one curtain, and 50 loops shall you make in the edge of the curtain. That is in the coupling of the second, that the loops may hold one another. Verse 6, and you shall make 50 taches of gold, and couple the curtains together with the taches, and it shall be one tabernacle. And you shall make curtains of goat's hair, to be a covering upon the tabernacle. 11 curtains shall you make. 11 curtains shall you make. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain shall be 4 cubits, and the 11 curtain shall be all of one measure. And you shall couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shall double the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tabernacle. And you shall make 50 loops on the edge of one curtain that is outmost in the coupling, and the 50 loops in the edge of the curtain which couples the second. And you shall make 50 taches of brass, and put the taches into the loop, and couple the tent together, that it may be one. And the remnant that remains of the curtain of the tent, the half curtain that remains, shall hang over the back side of the tabernacle, and a cubit of one side, and a cubit of the other side, that which remain of the length of the curtains and of the tent. It shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle, on this side and on that side, to cover it. And you shall make a covering for the tent of ram's skin, dyed red, and covering above the antelope skin. And it shall make the boards of the tabernacle of chittim wood, standing up. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board, and a cubit and a half shall be the breadth of one board. 10 tenons, 2 tenons shall there be in one board. Set in order one against another. Thus shall you make for all the board of the tabernacle. And you shall make the boards of the tabernacle 20 boards on the south side and southward. On the south side southward, And you shall make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons. For 2 tenons. And 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side, there shall be 20 boards. And there are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board and 2 sockets under another board. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, you shall make 6 boards, and 2 boards shall you make for the corners of the tabernacle in the 2 sides, and they shall be coupled together beneath, and they shall be coupled together above the head of it with unto one ring. Thus shall it be for them both. They shall be for the 2 corners, and they shall be 8 boards, and their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under the board and 2 sockets under another board. And you shall make bars of cheating wood, 5 of the board, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the board of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the board on the sides of the tabernacle, and for the 2 sides westward. And the middle bar in the midst of the board shall reach from end to end, shall reach from end to end. And you shall overlay the board with gold, and make their rings of gold for places for the bars. And you shall overlay the bars with gold. And you shall rear up the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof which was showed you in the mount. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, of cunning works with cherubim shall it be. And you shall hang it upon the 4 pillars of the kitchen wood, overlay with gold, that their hooks shall be of gold, and upon the 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang up the veil under the taches, that you may bring in thither within the veil the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy. And you shall put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony, and you shall put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most high place. And you shall set a table without the veil, and the menorah over against the table on the side of the tabernacle towards the south, and you shall put the table on the north side. And you shall make a hanging for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, wrought with needleworks. And you shall make for the hanging 5 pillars of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and with their hook shall be of gold. And you shall cast 5 sockets of brass on them. If you observed, all what the Most High described to Moses here is talking about a temporary settings. The tent is about to build for the tabernacle. Remember that I said in previous episode that what is going to build now is a sanctuary for the Most High to look more like the tabernacle. But we have many camps out there that think that the tabernacle actually is the camp that they are trying to create today. No, the um the tabernacle that Yahuwah requested of children of Israel back then was a mobile tabernacle, whereby as they journey, they take it along with them. Wherever they pitch, they set it up back the way they set it up as He has given it to them. It was not like the camps that are now building churches everywhere. Remember that wherever you build a church, that's where the church will be. So don't make a mistake of comparing the tabernacle that Yahuwah asked Moshe to make with the camps that you are creating. Because even the camps you are creating does not even follow what the Most High even asked them to build. It was not made of shitting wood. The camps are not made of fine linen. Neither does it have the blue, the purple, and the scarlet, and the twinned lining. Neither is your camp up to the amount of cubits that Yahweh actually asked them to do. So why are these camps fooling themselves? Let's press on. 27. And you shall make an altar of shittim wood, 2 cubits long and 5 cubits broad, and the altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And you shall make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. His horns shall be of the same, and you shall overlay it with brass. And you shall make his pans to receive ashes, and his shovel, and his basin, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans. All the vessels thereof shall be made of brass. And you shall make it a grate of network of brass. And upon the net shall you make 4 brazen rings in the 4 corners thereof. And you shall put it under the compass of the altar beneath, and that the net may be even in the midst of the altar. And you shall make staves for the altar, staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. And the staves shall be put into the ring, and the staff shall be upon the 2 rings of the altar to bear it. Hollow with boards shall you make it, and it as it was showed you in the mount, so shall they make it. And you shall make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side southward, there shall be hangings for the court of the fine twinned lining of 100 cubits long for one side, and the 20 pillars thereof, and their 20 sockets shall be brass. The hook of the pillars and their fillet shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side, in the length there shall be hangings of 100 cubits, and its 20 pillar and their 20 sockets of brass. The hook of the pillars and their fillet of silver. For the breadth of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, 10 their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. And the breadth of the court of the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits, and the hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, and the pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillar 3, and their sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be a hanging of 20 cubits of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twinned lining, wrought within the work, and their pillars shall be 4, and their sockets 4. All the pillars round about the court shall be filleted, with silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of brass. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 cubits, and the height 5 cubits, and or 5 cubits of twin lining, and their sockets of brass, and the vessel of the tabernacle in all the services thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be brass. And you shall command the children of Yasharel that they bring you pure oil, olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always in the tabernacle of the assembly without the veil, which is before the tabernacle. Aaron and his son shall order it from the evening to morning before Yahuwah. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on behalf of the children of Yasharel. 28. Let's press on. Chapter 28. And take unto you Aaron and your brother and his sons with him from among the children of Yasharel, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. Even Aaron, Navad, Abihu, Eleazar, and Eltamar, Aaron's son. And you shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother, and for glory and for beauty. And you shall make unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the Ruach Chokmah. That's the spirit of wisdom. Ruach Chokmah. That they may make Aaron's garment to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, and a turban, and a belt. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother and his sons, for that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take gold, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and of fine twined lining with cotton works. And it shall have the two shoulder pieces thereof joined at the two edge thereof, and so it shall be joined together. And the belt of the ephod which is upon it shall be of the same according to the works thereof, even of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twin lining. And you shall take 2 onyx stones and grave on them the name of the children of Yasharel, 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names on the rest of the other stone, according to their birth, with the works of the engraver in stone, like the engraving of a signet. That shall you engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Yasharel. You shall make them to be set in out of gold. And you shall put upon the 2 stones upon the shoulder of the ephod. And you shall put the 2 stones upon the shoulder of the ephod of the stone, for stones of memorial unto the children of Yasharel. And Aaron shall bear their names before Yahuwah upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And you shall make outs of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the end, and wreathen works shall you make them, and fasten the wreathen chain to the ouch. And you shall make the breastplate of judgment with cunning works, after the works of the ephod. You shall make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twin linen shall you make it. 4 square it shall be, being doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span shall be the breadth thereof. And you shall set in it settings of stone, even 4 rows of stone. The first row shall be of sardius, it shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. The second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row is lingor and agate and an amethyst, sorry. And the fourth row a beryl and an onyx and a jasper. They shall be set in the gold, they shall be set in gold in their enclosing. And the stone shall be with the name of the children of Yashareel, 12, according to their names, which the engraving of the signet. Everyone with his name shall be according to the 12 tribes. And you shall make upon the breastplate chains at the end of the wreathen works of pure gold. And you shall make upon the breastplate 2 rings of silver, and shall put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And you shall put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the end of the breastplate, and the other 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains you shall fasten in the 2 arches, and put them on the shoulder piece of the ephod before it. 26. And you shall make 2 rings of gold, and you shall put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate, in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. And 2 other rings of gold you shall make, and you shall put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, towards the forepart. Therefore, over against the other couplet thereof, above the belt of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the ring thereof upon the ring of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it may be above the belt of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loosed from the ephod. And Aharon shall bear the names of children of Yashareel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart. And when he goes in unto the holy place for a memorial before Yahweh continually, you shall put in the breastplate of judgment, the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goes in before Yahweh. And Aaron shall bear the judgment, the children of Yashareel, upon his heart before Yahweh continually. And you shall make the robe of the ephod all of blue, and there shall be a hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof, it shall have a binding of woven works round about the hole of it, as it were the hole of Habagion, that it be not rent. And beneath under the hem of it you shall make pomegranate of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, round about the hem thereof, and the bells of gold between them round about. A golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aharon the minister, and a sound shall be heard when he goes into the holy place before Yahweh, and when he comes out, that he die not. And you shall come make a plate of pure gold, and grave upon it like the engraving of a signet, Kodesh la Yahuwah, which means holiness or to Yahuwah, or holiness to Yahuwah. That's Kodesh la Yahuwah. And you shall put it on the blue lace, that it may be upon the turban, and the forefront of the turban it shall be, and it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Yashareel shall hallow in all their gifts, and it shall be upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before Yahuwah. And you shall embroider the coat of fine linen, and you shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make the belt of needlework, and for Aaron's sons you shall make coats, and you shall make them belts, and bonnets shall you make for them, for glory and for beauty. And you shall put and you shall put them upon Aaron your brother, and his sons with him, and shall anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest office. And you shall make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness, and the loins even unto the thigh they shall reach, and they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons unto when they come in unto the tabernacle of the assembly, and when they come out, and when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever, and for him, unto him, and his seed after him. Now, what that tells us about is talking in this chapter is talking about that description for the priesthood uniform, or the priesthood dress code. But you observe that here it makes mention about breeches. If you go on and check what the word breeches means, it's talking about trousers. In the state they call it pants. The trousers that we men wear is what is called breeches. Clothes meant for men are not meant for women. The breeches are meant for men. It's not meant for the women. Because it was told that you make this and give it to Aaron and the sons of Aaron as well.
For sponsorship, advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number +234 811 731 0928.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. So let's embark on the concluding part of the program for today. Now we're in chapter 29, and in the things, and this is the things that you shall do unto them, to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office. Take one young bullock and 2 rams without blemish, and matzah cakes tempered with oil, and matzah wafer anointed with oil. Of wheat flour shall you make them, and you shall put them into one basket, and bring them in the basket with the bullock and the 2 rams. And Aaron and his son shall bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and shall wash them with water, And you shall take the garment and put upon Aaron the coat and the robe of the ephod and the breastplate, and gird him with the belt of the ephod. And you shall put the turban upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the turban. And then shall you take the anointing oil and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And you shall bring his sons and put coats upon them, and you shall gird them with belts, and Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnet on them. And the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. And you shall consecrate Aaron and his son. And you shall cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the assembly. And Aaron and his son shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock, and they shall kill the bullock before Yahuwah by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And you shall take of the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour out the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And you shall take all the fat that covers the inwards and caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar. But the flesh of the bullock and his skin and his dung, that's the poop, shall you burn with fire without the camp, that's outside the camp. It is a sin offering. So that means, despite all the old bull that they might need, what the Most High actually need that will be burnt in the tabernacle are just few things, while the rest will be taken outside the tabernacle to be burnt. Let's proceed. 15. And you shall take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram, and you shall slay the ram, and you shall take the blood and sprinkle it round about of the altar, and you shall cut the ram in pieces, and wash the inward of him and his legs, and put them unto his pieces and unto his head. And you shall burn the whole ram upon the altar, for it is an ascending smoke offering unto Yahuwah. It is a sweet savour, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And you shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. Then shall you kill the ram, and take his blood, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of the sons of Aaron, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the thumb, and upon the great toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And you shall take of the blood that is upon the altar, and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron, and upon his garment, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons, and upon the garment of his sons with him. And he shall be hallowed, and his garment, and his sons' garment with him. Also, you shall take of the ram the fat and the rump, and the fat that covers the inward, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidney, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, that is of, for it is a ram of consecration. And 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafers out of the basket of the matzah that is before Yahuwah. And you shall put all in the hands of Aaron, and in the hands of his sons, and shall wave them for a wave offering. Wave them for a wave offering. And you shall receive them of their hand, and burn them upon the altar for an ascending smoke offering, for a sweet savour before Yahuwah. it is an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And you shall sanctify the breast of the wave offering and the shoulder of the heave offering, and which is waved, and which is heaved up, and the ram of consecration, even of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons by a statute forever from the children of Yasharel, for it is a heave offering. And it shall be a heave offering from the children of Yasharel of the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offering unto Yahuwah. And the holy garment of Aaron shall be his sons, which shall be his sons after him, to be anointed therein, and to be consecrated in them, and that the son and that son that is priest in his stead put them on 7 days. And he, when he come into the tabernacle of the assembly of to minister in the holy place, and you shall take the ram of the consecration and sit his flesh in the holy place. And Aaron and his son shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And they shall eat those things wherewith the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, but they are holy, because they are holy. That's those things, the tabernacle. And if out of the flesh of the consecration and of the bread remains unto the morning, then you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. Not like, let us waste it. Let us give others to eat it, so that it will not waste food. No. Once it remains, you are meant to burn it, because they are holy meals, not meant for every other person. And thus shall you do unto Aaron and his sons, according to all the things which I have commanded you. 7 days shall you consecrate them, and you shall offer every day a bullock of a sin for a sin offering for atonement. And you shall cleanse the altar, for when you have made an atonement for it, you shall anoint it and sanctify it. 7 days you shall make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it, and it shall be an altar most holy, and it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever touches the altar shall be holy. Now this is that which you shall offer upon the altar: 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. The 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at evening. And with 1 lamb, and with the 1 lamb, a tenth, that's a tenth, deals of flour mingled with the 4 parts of the hin beaten oil, and the 4th part of the hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lambs you shall offer at evening, and shall do hitherto according to the oblation of the morning, according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savour, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. This shall be a continual ascending smoke offering throughout your generations, after the door of the tabernacle of the assembly before Yahuwah, where I will meet you to speak there unto you, and there I will meet with the children of Yasharel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the assembly, and the altar I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons, to minister to me in the priest office. And I will dwell among the children of Yasharel, and I will be their Elohim. And you shall know that, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah Elohim, that brought them forth out of the land of Mizraim, that I may dwell among them. I am Yahuwah Elohim.